I'm Jay Taylor. I'm the editor of a newsletter called Jay Taylor's Gold, Energy, and Tech Stocks. I'm here at the Metals Investor Forum in Toronto. It is the third day of March 2023, and I'm really happy to be with Tony Reda. He's the president and CEO of Tectonic Metals. It's a company that I learned to know about because, well, there was another company in the same belt of rocks that is on to probably a multi-million ounce gold discovery, an intrusive deposit. And I said, gee, are there any others around that might be similar to that? And somebody put a note on the wall to me, a little birdie in my ear said, yes, there is one. It's called Tectonic Metals. That may be really great. And then I started looking at it and spectacular drill results. So I'm really pleased to say hi to Tony. Tell us the story. It's really a fantastic story. All right.
Go ahead. Thank you. Yeah, you want to hear the story? Okay. Well, that like you said, that company, kudos to them, and they're the Tectonic Gold Province.
Right.
So we're completely on the other side in Alaska here. The fifth largest gold deposit in the world, it's called Donlin. It's about 45 million ounces, sits in this mineral belt that we're situated in. So that first drew me into the area, not necessarily that the other company. The other company we're referring to is called Snowline Gold, and like I said, a fantastic discovery. And it's really shone a light again on the Tectonic Gold Belt and this deposit style called intrusion-related gold system. So this deposit drew us in, and then the more we dug into the opportunity on this project, 55 drill holes drilled historically, and every hole hit gold mineralization. We have intercepts as high as 200 grams per ton, some as low as 0.2, but nonetheless, all 55 hit and only drilled down to about 100 meters vertical, and 25 out of those 55 holes ended in mineralization.
Wow.
So you can kind of get a sense early on that this could be a behemoth of a project.
I think there was some question about metallurgy at one point in time, but you've sort of dispelled that issue, I think. Recently, you've done some work on that.
Yes, to my knowledge, we might be the only junior mining company that's actually done metallurgy before drilling. So this is all historically drilled holes. And thankfully, the landowner or the native corporation that owns the land actually stored those historical drill holes in a warehouse. And so with every project we acquire, we develop a 3-year plan. It's all part of the acquisition process. So we look at the environmental side of things. We look at who's the landowner. In this case, it's situated on native-owned land. We try to assess as much risk as possible because at the end of the day, I'm here to find a mine.
Right.
And so if you look at every project on day one, can this become a mine? And then you tackle the biggest risk items. So for us, metallurgy was extremely important because it can make or break a project. And also, that behemoth of a project called Donlin that's nearby with 45 million ounces of gold, it is a refractory deposit.
Yeah.
And so we went right after, last year we launched it, we went right after the metallurgy and said, okay, let's assess how we're going to recover the gold. And those results came back just about a month ago, and all the different methods of metallurgical testing that we did came back extremely positive. And all signs are pointing to a potential heap leach opportunity.
Wow, yeah.
And heap leaching is important because it offers a lower capex to build, say, the heap leach pad. It offers a lower operating cost, and which in turn provides a higher margin. So, finding gold is important, but also what's the point of finding gold if you can't get it out economically? And heap leaching is definitely one of the most cost-effective, lower environmental impact ways to do that. And again, we're having all signs are pointing to that could be an opportunity here for us to exploit.
Right. So you haven't done any drilling, but there was a great deal of drilling. You have a lot of drill core.
Yes.
Historical drill core
yes.
already. And it's, are you going to twin those holes, or how are you going to approach that? Because you have a lot of data already that you can start to, to envision.
We're quite blessed to have that much data on a project in a first world jurisdiction that hasn't been exploited.
Right.
These project opportunities, if this doesn't usually happen, we can step into something with this much data. So the drilling that we're going to do this year is going to be multifaceted. So we're going to go and twin or do confirmatory drilling And that will give us the ability to use the historical holes in a compliant resource if and when we elect to do so. The other objective of the drilling is really to validate the scale and the grade of the system.
Right.
It's a big task to do with a finite amount of meters, but the drill holes, the 55 is across 2.6 kilometers of strike. There's a lot of areas in there to build tonnage, but then you have a 4 kilometer long golden soil anomaly, and that only encompasses half of Chicken Mountain. There's another 4K. So the golden soils are going to get targeted, the historical drilling is going to get targeted, and another target called Golden Apex is also going to get targeted. And again, it's pretty exciting to walk into any first year drill program, but to walk into something that has proven gold endowment is going to be really fascinating, and can't wait to see how it all unfolds.
Yeah. Have you designed your drill program this year yet, or is it something you're working on now?
We're literally working on, like, we have ideas and thoughts, but now we're at the point where we're actually putting drill collar locations on a map. And this is my favorite part, because I love talking geology and debating. We got our technical team in a room where we're going to put each hole. Right. And then the irony in all of that, you need to do that. But once you put that first drill hole into the ground, it's kind of like take the piece of paper and rip it up, because Mother Nature, she always humbles you and delivers something that perhaps you didn't see or expect. So we got to be very much adaptable.
Sure. Of course. And how well funded are you to handle it this year?
We do have, a bit of capital in the treasury, so we could start the program, but we will need to do another capital raise because there's just so many targets, and we want to go in there with 2 drills. So we have our drills secured, and we want to make sure we have enough capital that we don't necessarily need to stop drilling if we start getting into some really
good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, you've got a $36 million market cap, I think.
Yeah.
That's just pitifully low. and I think, honestly, with a good drill program this year, somebody's going to pay attention.
Yes.
They've got to pay attention to this story, I think. So
yes, I always try to look at things from a risk reward perspective. And for us, call it a $5 million drill program, what could be the potential upside of that? So we could, knock on wood here, potentially blow the roof off this thing. And that, how do you get people's attention? Well, you got to show something economic and something of scale. The major mining companies or the investment community doesn't care about small. No. So our approach with the, test the breadth of the system, don't get too fixated on a historical drill hole, trying to just get a flashy number. And then also the metallurgy that we've done and we're going to continue to do to demonstrate the heap leachability of the mineralization. It's going to sort of tick that economic box. And then the grade, what are we dealing with as far as grade? So. Right.
Well, there's historically been some pretty good grades, some pretty high grades, and I'm wondering.
The best hole to date is 12 meters of 24 grams per ton. There's a 200 gram meter intercept in there. Right. There's some channel samples that ran 6.7 grams over 27 meters. And then there, like I said, there's also some lower grade, 0.98 over 72, 0.68 over 50. And with gold systems, there's going to be lower grade and higher grade, and then going back to metallurgy. Anyone can make 10 grams per ton work. Yeah. How do you make half a gram work or a gram? And that, regardless of the system, there's going to be half-gram material. So we want to focus on that just as much as we focus on the higher grade.
Great. Well, it's a great story, Tony. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
It's really wonderful. It's one I'll be watching carefully, of course. I own a few shares myself.
Yes.
So I care. But so do my subscribers. So I thank you very much.
Thank you for the support.